Hello everyone, and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, we're gonna play a little Catharsis token deck. So, I've seen a few YouTubers play this deck already, and I wanted to try it out myself. And Catharsis is one of the forgotten, what is it called? The Elemental Incarnations from Lorwyn. I think it's a reasonable card, right? For 2 white mana, you get 2 1/1 green and white kittens. And for 2 red mana, all your creature gets +1/+1 and gain haste until the end of turn. And you can cast the Catharsis for either 2, or you can invoke Catharsis for either 2 white or 2 red, or you can cast it for 6 mana for a 3/4. And all of your creature gets +1/+1 and gain haste until the end of turn. So kind of a 4/5 for at least that turn if you cast it for 6 mana. But we're not casting for 6 mana. This is a token deck. And all we're going to do is kind of cheat our tokens and, well, not cheat out, but, crank our tokens. And then evoke a Catharsis to pump some of our creatures and go for either a whiteboard lethal or go for a rush lethal, right? So that's kind of the idea of this whole deck. And what we're gonna do to win is namely one of 2 cards, either Arabella, Abandoned Doll, which whenever it attacks, whenever Arabella attacks, it deals X damage to opponent, and you gain X life or X number of creatures. You control power 2 or less, which is pretty much the whole deck. And we have Skyknight Squire, which is a 1/1 that whenever another creature enters, you put up a +1/+1 counter on him. And since we're generating a lot of creature tokens, we're going to put a lot of +1/+1 counters on this Squire. And that's the idea. We can also kind of win by cheating Frontline Rush. Well, not into play, but basically kind of sneaking Frontline Rush on a unblocked attacker and just give it +X/+X with X's number of creatures to control and hit our opponent that way. So a lot of ways to crank out a little bit of damage here or there, and usually that will be enough to just get the lethal damage overall. And that's the idea of this deck. Now, the way we're going to get a lot of creatures out is through not only Catharsis and cards like Resolute Reinforcement. We'll also have Stadium Headliner, which mobilizes, gets us a 1/1 every turn. Even though I had to sack it, they do pump the Skyknight Squire pretty well, so that's pretty good. And we also can use it in addition to the Frontline Rush's pump, and that also gets a lot of damage through. We can then kind of curve out to cards like Warleader's Call that buff the whole board, or Sanguine Evangelist that has a Battle Cry that buff the board for attacks, or even Anim that gives more creatures whenever we attack. So all kinds of things to either buff our creatures or get attacks, but really just to hit early and hit strong. So that's the idea of the deck. So let's talk about the deck list. So turn 1, we definitely want to have a turn 1 play. We got 4 Stadium Headliner, 2 Higher Claw, and the 2 Burnout Bashtronauts. I see a lot of decks run this kind of split, so I'm trying it myself. But really, I'm kind of hesitant on not running just 4 of each and having 12 1-drops. We'll see what happens. That's kind of our turn 1 play. Turn 2 is where it gets tricky. So ideally, we want to drop either Arabella or Skyknight Squire because we want to get these attacking as soon as possible. Now, falling short of that, if we're not able to drop these best cards, the second best card that we can do is either one of the 4 Resolute Reinforcement, one of the 4 Frontline Rushes, or one of the 4 Catharsis on 2 white to just get 2 creatures on board. We got to get our white board as quickly as possible. Then going to turn 3, we want to be able to drop our Warleader's Call. Warleader's Call is where we can utilize our wide board and get a lot of damage. But if I have a card on board that we can attack with already, and the Pakal is okay too, because just by having an attack, and the Pakal will generate us gnomes. So the great thing a lot of people kind of misread about this card is not whenever she attacks or he attacks. I don't know if it's a she or a he, but whenever Anim attacks, no, right? It's whenever you attack with 1 or more non-gnome creatures. You put up a +1/+1 on Anim and then generate X+1 X1/1 colorless gnome equal to the number of +1/+1 counters. So you don't need Anim to attack. You just need to attack yourself, and you'll always get gnomes. So that's pretty good. And then we also have 2 Sanguine Evangelists. Nothing else. Played Sanguine Evangelist on turn 3, and get ready for a big battle crying turn 4. Right? That's the idea of this whole deck. Now, we don't have actually any removal in the deck outside of 2 fringe removal cards. One is obviously Shelter by Ghost. It's going to be very good to put Shelter by Ghost on Skyknight Squire or Arabella, because that will gain us a buttload of life, right? Because it gives us lifelink and it removes a card and gives it ward, so protection. Another one that we can use to remove is the 2 mana side of the Stadium Headliner. pretty useful, but still one that we don't often want to use because we want our headliner in play so that we can keep attacking. So that's all the removal we have. And this deck's gotta go fast, right? This deck, we gotta finish the game fast. So we're not gonna have that many lands. 20 lands total in the deck. We're gonna have 4 Sunbillow Verge, 4 Inspire Advantage, 4 Sacred Foundry for dual color lands, 12 dual color lands and 8 monocolor lands. We have 5 mountains, 2 plains, and 1 abandoned air temple, just in case we want to sink our mana into putting a Sunshine Counter on each of our creatures. It's gotta be useful, hopefully. And that's the whole idea of the deck. Let's go into the games and see how well we will do. Alright, our opponent is Faceless Assassin. Dauntless Drafter. We're not drafting here. We are going second with no 1-drops again. I don't think I'm mulliganing this hand. We're getting rushed. That's fun. I love going second with no 1-drop in this aggro deck. And also get rushed down. Arabella will be pretty good, but I don't have... what's it called? I don't have any haste givers. I don't have any haste givers. It sounds funny. Got a bunch of Catharsis and 3. Full house right here. Overlord. Alright. That's a weird play, but you got it. He's gonna play a land. No. Well, he didn't play a land. For some reason. There's Catharsis here. I could also Resolute Reinforcement. I don't know if I need to play the Catharsis. Because it kind of does the same thing. I know it's flash speed and all, but putting it down means I gain 3 lives. Alright, he's got 3 mana. What's coming? Forsaken Miner? I mean, it can't block, so I don't really care. Catharsis. +1/+1. I can give all my creatures +1/+1 if I want to. What does giving all my creatures +1/+1 do? It'll be a 2/4. He double blocks, it'll still die. Deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control the target creature. Guess I can do this. But it costs too much, right? It costs 4 mana basically just to do this. Whereas then if I attack, I can kill one of the Timeline Callers. Yeah, you know what? I think I should do this instead. I can also play this and... No, I cannot. So I gotta do this. You're on a double block? Come at me, bro. Didn't double block the Arabella. Alright. Down to 4. Arabella's crazy good. Got a board wipe here in your aggro deck? No. Saffron. Try to gain that 1 life. Cool. Cool. He is at 5. But then we just do the same thing again. GG. If I attack with 5 creatures, he just dies immediately. I'll take that. Alright, our opponent is uncertain. Well, I am certain that I'm going to go second. At least I have 1-drop. So, I'll take it. Oh. Is that a forest nothing on turn 1? There's a forest stick. What's a forest stick? I don't know. Badgermo? No. Almost Badgermo, I guess. I mean, I'm dropping this land for sure. The question is, do I Skyknight Squire or do I Arabella? Arabella's definitely scarier, but Skyknight Squire gets pumped by the Stadium Headliner, right? 3 or more counter gets flying, and it's a knight. Alright, let's go this direction. Maybe he's got a buff spell? No. I don't think it's a buff spell because it had a... No, it could be, right? I think it had a stick after I played a headliner, so... Oh, Promise Veins, so it's... No, it's Tifa. Tifa is pretty scary, right? It gets doubled, and then it would kind of go over the top on us. And he probably has a protection spell. How do I get around that? I don't know if I can. And I might be dead next turn. It's also tricky. It's trampled too, so... this doesn't give first strike. It's plus X. That also doesn't help. I guess we drop the Warleader's Call. Yeah, feels like a protection spell. Alright, are we gonna get hit by 20? 24? It's possible, right? No, not hitting us for 24. Can I get a lethal somehow here? I don't know if I can, but I guess I'll try. Go to blockers. Does he block at all? Alright, so this is 4, so it'll be 10 actually, is that lethal? Oh, we got there! Nice Tifa deck, you jerk. Get stomped. Alright, our opponent is VQ1, the Collector. We collect the VQs. I don't even know what that means, but I know I'm going second with no 1-drop again. Alright, do we keep this hand? It's marginal at best. Have a little bit of removal. I do have a creature to play. Sanguine Evangelist is a good card. It's just not strong enough tempo, right? I don't know. I feel like I'm mulliganing into a worse hand. I have 3 lands. It's just a 5 I'll keep. Alright. Better hand, I guess. By the way, the Warleader's Call, not that it's bad, I can't afford 2. Alright, it didn't matter. How about a turn 1 Landwar Elf and a turn 2 Badgermo, huh? It's amazing what your deck can do when it goes first with this trash. GG. Alright, our opponent is Tidal. The tall? Well, whatever he is brilliant. Oh my god, is that a go first with a 1-drop? That is not fair. Here's some inspiration. tap land go, you say? Let's make our creatures big. I don't even have removal in this deck, it's just attacks. We're just gonna turn cards sideways. Hope for the best. Yeah, this is a lot of damage. It's down to 11. This turn 3. We're not winning on turn 3, but I think we win next turn. It doesn't do anything. Gotta kill one of my creatures, right? Badger Moat Cup. Alright, you're gonna have 2 mana, but you tapped your black, so don't know if that was the right play here. 2 green does not stop attackers. Wanna play another Badger Moat? Just say go. Well, if you... No, God. If you just say go like that... Then, we're gonna turn our card sideways. I don't think there's fog in the meta. GG! Who's the brilliant now? Alright, our opponent is... Garth One-Eye. The old Garth One-Eye. I remember that card. Ah, so much for a go first, huh? At least we have a 1-drop, but not going first is not fun. Alright, our opponent's a Backstreet Boy. He likes his card. He keeps his card. We drew 4 lands. That's gonna be bad. Ah, there goes our shelter. I guess we're not sheltering anything here, but I wish I had the shelter, obviously. Oh, he knows what I'm gonna do. Take 2. Resolute Reinforcements. We get down the Warleader's call. This will be pretty scary. Ah, okay. He had it saved for my Anim Pakal anyways, but you know, it is what it is. Intimidation tactics. Guess we'll just beat him down with these 1/1s. It's doing stuff. You want to kill this 1/1? Alright, I wonder what I'm going to play next turn. Wow, he shocks in? Beseech? I don't know about that. You can't play anything. Oh, you beseech. So... You dead? I think you dead. Red. Yeah. Okay, Catharsis. Garth One-Eyed in your... I only remove cards? How do you like them apples? Alright, our opponent is... Io Figurativo? Is that the name? Check out this 1-lander. And our opponent goes first. Ah, screw it, I'm gonna keep. Whatevers. They got a G-Pollinator, so I can't actually attack. That's fun. Love that for me. he going to use it? Is he going to hold back so that I don't attack him with the Stadium Headliner? He did use it, so I can attack. It's a pretty important attack for me. That being said, though, like... still not that great, huh? Yeah, that word is scary. Guess I can play a Headliner into Arabella just to make my Sky Squire Knight fly. But, oh boy. It's gonna be challenging. This is gonna be challenging, for sure. Faux show. Maybe they activate it so they go to chapter 4, or chapter level 3. For 4 mana. I don't know. If they fight my Skyknight Squire, we're just screwed. Now the Nature's Rhythm for a Badger Milk Cup. Where are they putting this? Probably on the Badger Milk, right? It only makes sense on the Badger Milk. So I could shoot the Badger Milk, but then I lose a card and I don't actually get anywhere. I don't think that's wise. Instead, I just play a bunch of creatures. Since I do fly, I think it's worth it. I could make it a 5 damage attack with the Stadium Headliner, but I also don't think that's worth it. Because next turn, attacking with the Arabella's gonna be a lot of damage for our opponent if they can't deal with our board. And if they go to level... okay, they shelter. Yeah, they shelter well. Alright, our opponent is 2 Scoops. The brilliant 2 Scoops. I hate this avatar so much. Like, she's a pretty girl, but that teeth thing just looks so... oh, God. Alright, well, all these 1-drops, and look at that. Can't play it. This is hilarious. So I have Mulligan in his hand because I can't play anything. And it's a bad hand to keep anyways. Like, what am I going to do? Turn 1, nothing. Turn 2, play a Squire. That feels bad. If I was going to play nothing anyways, might as well play nothing this way. Right? Put away the mountain. Of course I get mine. Arabella! We need Arabella to live. Don't know if he will. First thing minor means his deck's full of targeting. It's a crime, probably. Or a shelter by ghosts. Very fine thing to do there. Okay, shelter is shelter, I guess. That's what happens when your opponent goes first every game. I can't for the life of me go first in one of these games. Feels like a stick, right? There was a stick that's probably a kill spell here. What do I... let's attack first. It's weird, right? can't cast my Catharsis. Some Pearl here. Is he giving me back to Arabella? Alright. So he can take away the Skyknight Squire? I don't know. Well, that's the best display here. I mean, okay. Do you have like another bounce spell? What's the plan? Case. Okay, but like I'm just gonna. Well, I had to pay the 2 extra to take out the Kieran, right? I think that's worth it. I'm gonna attack with the 1. Don't think he's gonna block with the tiny bomb. Yep, I gained the life back. It's shelter on shelter fights. He's now gonna shelter my Skyknight Squire, probably. No, just quit. Alright, oh, I'll give him that, I guess. Whatever. Goodbye, 2 scoops. Alright, our opponent is the Asmorgath? I don't know what that means, but he definitely is gathing. Oh, this is a horrible hand. Lots of setup cards and really nothing to go early. 3 lands though, so we'll mulligan this. Do I mulligan this? I mean, it's not bad to have a Skyknight Squire into a Frontline Rush. Don't know what our opponent's doing. I do have a removal. And Arabella. I mean, like, these are good setup cards. You know what? We'll see what happens. If I top deck a land, that just means I'm gonna lose. Burnout Bashtronaut? Okay. So, maybe a mirror? A mirror where our opponent goes first? Yes. Absolutely a mirror where our opponent goes first. Arabella's a good card I'm going to attack with. Skyknight Squire isn't. I don't know if it'll matter too much, because if it gets removed here, we just lose. Warleader's Call. Yeah, that's what happens when our opponent goes first, right? I don't have any way to back this up. I could play one of the 3 drops. That won't do it. I can shelter the voice. But then he keeps his Warleader's Call. I can shelter the Warleader's Call, then he just plays another one. Gotta get the lifelink on board. It's a good life swing. Yeah, I knew it was a mirror. It's gonna be a pretty big Squire. Can I take out the Squire in any way? It doesn't look like it. Does block, so let's give it a plus something. Now we have 2 1/1s on the board, and he's at 12. We're getting somewhere, at least. still attacking. This has double strike now, so I don't think I bothered blocking. I gain a lot of life with Arabella, so as long as Arabella's still on the board here, I think we win. And then Pakal is also pretty good. Whenever I attack, we just get more. That's scary. But we're still alive. As long as we're still alive, right? There's Anim Pakal. There's Stadium Liner. That's gonna attack for 5, 6, 7, 8. Nah, let's just attack for 7 here. If I attack with these two, it would not have been lethal, so holding back gives me a lot more room to play with next turn. He's at 3. Come on, opponent, you went first in a mirror. You should always win those kind of games. Get things +1/+1 and haste. Okay, just gonna GG out, huh? GG, Asmorad Gath. No Gath for you. Alright, our opponent is Patrick 0429. Oh, Patrick, did you just include your birthday here? Oh, look, go second with no 1-drops. Keep this hand. It's workable, right? That's the only thing. This will play this tap land. I have no 1-drop anyways, so no reason to have that untapped. Another heirloom. What is going on? Dragons? No way it's dragons. It's probably like some weird control deck. Oh, okay. Well, now. This is the infinite combo deck. Take out their infinite combo. Let's see where that leads us. They have a removal. They had a removal. Well, then I'm just screwed now. I mean, that's, yeah, they went first. I got so many lands. Alright, our opponent is the Japachi. We go first. Burnout Bastronauts for days. Let's go. I mean, might as well play the mountain, because these are going to come into play and shock me. Over mono red. Get that speed on. Clockwork percussion. Alright, we'll take this one. I mean, Arabella isn't gonna attack, but it's still fun to have this going on. Speed 2. We're gonna take a lot of damage from our own cards. That really depends on what he plays. Firebrand. Another percussionist. I can just block. That attack made no sense. I don't know if I want to shelter here. I probably don't. Not yet anyways. Having an Evangelist out gives me a blocker. And also gain a life. So, seems pretty good. Alright, one more attack until max speed. Actually, when Arabella attacks, we get max speed. No, but that's post-combat, right? Well, post-attack, so... Oh, I need to Warleader's Call, and then I still don't get that double strike. That's tricky. This got 3 mana open, so... I don't think my Arabella's living. we drop the Warleader's Call. And then we'll get the battle cry going. Oh, he's just dead. What are you doing, opponent? You didn't play anything. You had 3 mountains and 2 clockwork percussions. Alright, GG. Alright, our opponent is Rules Advisor Drop Out. I don't know, but he is a weekly warrior, so he gets to go first. This is a horrendous hand. Oh man, this is just all setups, no card to play, huh? Okay, Catharsis turn 2 and turn 3. What do you just call? Turn 3 Anim Pakal? Yeah, it just doesn't seem. Oh god, this is worse. This is way worse. All right. Well, we're gonna try. They are mono green. I can't afford to do this, huh? Yeah, I don't know what card I'm gonna draw next turn. That's the problem. If I draw a basic land here, I'm gonna be angry. And this is what I thought about the Abandoned Air Temple. It's just such a bad card in the early games, and then in the late game, I've never seen it being. Oh yeah, see, I knew it was gonna be upset. Oh nope, that will also be bad. So let us play our Arabella. And probably getting Bitter Triumph here. Not yet, but it's coming. Rakdos just means reanimated, right? Okay. So our opponent only has 2 lands. Is that what's going on? Do I want a Catharsis, or do I want a Warleader's Call? I think Catharsis is better. Yeah, there's a stick to kill Arabella, that's for sure. Bitter Triumph. Burst Lightning. Okay. So not killing the Arabella. Cool. I'm happy with that. He draws his 3rd land, but this is 4th turn. So it came to play tapped. Hilarious. It's gonna. Ah, it's a Sellsword deck? Dude. Yeah, I don't know, man. A Sellsword deck, can you even deal 20 damage in a turn? Not if you block. Okay. Corpse of the Lost. Probably not attacking. Probably quitting. GG. I mean, he was mana screwed, so I was also mana screwed. Fair game. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you saw all those inspiring games, how does this deck feel? Right? This is super fast aggro, Arabella for the win kind of game, right? Well, Skyknight Squire is also pretty good, but most of the games, Arabella is what got us the game, and putting a Shelter by Ghost on Arabella is insane. Now she's crazy strong, and whenever she attacks, she gives us both the gain and the life gain. So that's a lot, right? So I think the way it works is what it says: you deal X damage and you gain X life, but the X damage you deal also is lifelink, so you gain double that life. I forgot to check, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Even if it isn't, like, just getting 1 of that life is already a lot. Putting Shelter by Ghost on a Skyknight Squire is also insane because it grows. Skyknight Squire grows, the +1% counter keeps going up, so that means we keep getting stronger and stronger. He also flies, so it's got evasion, and then the Ward 2 gives it protection, so that's how we can race a lot of these aggro decks. Now, the games that we lost to, they're all Badger Mode decks, because obviously Badger Modes always go first, so by the time we set up, they already have like 3 or 4 Badger Modes out, and they just keep going. Just keep going. And yeah, those games you're not going to win. And a lot of these games, I was a little bit frustrated in the fact that I was going second every game, and I did not draw my 1-drop, so that I basically had to play onto our opponent's turn 3. For an aggro deck, that's a death sentence. We made it through a lot of those games, but it was kind of a struggle, and that's really coming down to the fact that we don't have that many 1-drops in the deck. And by not having that many. I mean, we don't have 8. I want to have 10 ideally, maybe even 12. So I think what we need is to cut some cards to put in into 4 Burnout Bashtronaut and 4 Higher Claws. I'm not quite sure what to cut here, and honestly, it might come down to cutting a Catharsis and cutting a Sanguine Evangelist. I'm not sure, or cutting Anim Pakal. Warleader's Call actually got us a lot of games, so I can't justify cutting any of that. Catharsis also got us a lot of games, but there were a few games where Catharsis just kind of gets stuck in our hand because it is a sorcery speed invoke. So you don't really get an instant speed 2/1/1s like the Resolute Reinforcement would. And the red mana to give it haste, give our creatures haste, seem good, but obviously won't be as impactful in turn 2 or 3. At turn 4, it can give a 2 mana card haste, which probably is just Arabella. And if you have a 4 mana Arabella, it's really not that strong, right? So in terms of what Catharsis can do, it might be something that we're hoping too much out of. So I don't know. I really want to have more 1-drops, but it might be that this is the best version and that I just got unlucky and didn't get to go first. But either way, we won all those games. I'm not complaining too much, and I think we still won like 8 games out of 11 that we played, and that's a fair ratio. So it's a strong deck overall, and I would recommend if you want to go into Mythic, these fast decks will help you get there very quickly. And that's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.